Pick up where we left off. In any case, I need to keep chasing after Miss President. And now I immediately see a recognizable feature, her long ponytail. I found her.
Wait! It's too dangerous to go alone.
Miss President's turned around in response to my voice. She's smiling. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Color me impressed that you managed to catch up to me so quick.
The calmness. Has she expected I would follow her? Beginning to feel like she's toying with me. I understand now. Nothing I can say to her will change her mind. There's nothing helping.
Promise me that you won't leave my side. And you can't do anything rash. If you can't agree to those terms, I'll have to force you into protective custody.
Oh, you acting like a cop now, eh?
This is a matter of life and death for you.
Sure thing. Then let's get to that announcement room together.
I thought I'd be able to keep her in check by saying that her life was in danger, but she didn't seem to take any notice. She just shrugged and accepted my proposal. She's quite hard to deal with. I'm not sure if she knows how I'm feeling, but she speaks
Hey,
up.
mind if I ask you something?
What is it?
It's a moment of silence. Since I'm about to ask her to go on, Miss President
It's
continues.
tough, being forced to fight your friends, huh? Sorry. You don't gotta answer.
She must still be thinking about my fight with Yukiko. True, I'm slightly hesitant to talk about any of this. It's a question that must be answered. That's how it feels to me.
No, you're right. If I could avoid it, I would. But I believe in my friends.
You mean your friends won't hate you after the fight? Or you think they'll understand that you don't really want to fight?
I don't know. Both, maybe. I mean, there's no way we'd fight each other without some kind of reason.
Will she believe that answer? I study Miss President's face. When she opens her mouth, she has an unexpectedly gloomy look in her
What
eyes.
if you had to kill each other?
Kill each other? I truly hadn't anticipated that question. I'm caught off guard by how I hadn't even considered it. It's true, there's no guarantee this General Teddy won't suddenly decide to make us fight to the death on a whim.
Sorry, that was probably over the line. I don't know why I said that.
I wouldn't let it happen.
Even if I was forced into such a situation, I would never follow that order. That's all I can say right now. But after hearing my answer, Miss President cast her eyes down again. After seeing that behavior, how do I put this? I felt a sense of incongruity. Why could that be? Something doesn't feel like her. Could Miss President be carrying some unimaginable burden she has yet to confide in us? Is it so heavy she would ask this question? Speaking of which, General Teddy turns out to be her shadow. What does that mean about whatever repressed thoughts she truly has? Suddenly it seems that her courageous and cheerful demeanor are a mirror image of that, and a slight sense of fear chills my spine. My thoughts raced through my head while we walked down the hallway.
What are you doing?
Ugh, thought I broke my nose for a moment. It's that invisible wall again. Even though I should have been expecting them, I relaxed my guard and walked right into one. I hold my nose and wave away Miss President who looks concerned.
There's an invisible wall. I don't think I can go through here.
An invisible wall? Oh, that must have been why you broke out of the mime act every now and then. Well, if I can pass through, it must only be blocking the tournament fighters. This world sure is out there.
Miss President walks right through the place I had bumped into. So that must be the case. As I'd imagined, Miss President's unaffected by these walls. Is it because she's not one of the fighters in the Grand Prix? Of course, if General Teddy really is her shadow, maybe the normal rules don't apply to her. Entrance to the school building is ahead of us. Perhaps worst of all is the wall I had just walked into is blocking me from reaching there. I'll just have to find some other way. No, there are walls there too. And the same can be said for the direction towards the entrance. Thought crosses my mind as I check back the way we had come. It's as I thought. Another invisible wall is formed where I had just passed. I can't go back. With walls in every direction, there's nowhere I can go. I'm trapped. I can't go anywhere. This can only mean one
Be
thing.
careful. This probably means...
The moment I call out to Miss President, General Teddy appears on the monitor in the entryway. It means my third round in the P1 Grand Prix is about to begin.
Is your snout okay, Sensei? Jeez, you're such a klutz.
You're still using that form? It's getting old. Why don't you just show your true self?
Oh, you got peevish. I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
I was intentionally trying to rile him up, but he wasn't falling for it. Looks like I'm not going to get him to do anything that way. I quickly changed tactics.
Okay, so who's my next opponent?
Ooh, now you're getting into the spirit of things. Let me guess, you're starting to enjoy beating up your friends? Okay, with the next challenger, come on down!
I kind of like General Teddy, it's funny. The general doesn't pick up on my intention and loudly yells what appears to be his pre-battle catchphrase. Smoke pours out. And who should appear from the smoke but the person I was expecting to see? 4 of us enter the TV together. I've already fought against Yusuke and Yukiko. Then...
That's what I thought. You're the last of us, after all.
Yeah, I had a feeling you'd be next, too.
Chia laughs along with me. For the moment, there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with her words and actions. I can't let my guard down around her. After all, I felt the same way when we encountered Yukiko too. But as they say, third time's the charm. I have to see if Chia is in her right mind. I decided that the best way to do this is to be calm and start a short conversation.
Chia, you know what they're doing, right?
Before I can begin to explain, Chia cuts me
Yeah,
off.
I know. The stuff we say gets twisted around so we end up fighting each other, right? Don't worry. You're the son of a bitch who left us as soon as the last case ended, but you're still our good friend.
Woo! Hell have no Hell have no fury like a waifu scorned.
I mean, you have it easy. You're just fighting your friends. I had to keep killing them over and over, all because of you humans!
Ooh, that's out of pocket. This is obvious. She is clearly not herself. It's so blatant her words don't offend me at all. Moreover, it's not just out of character, but she would never say anything like that. And you humans? That's as good as confessing that you're not human. Alright, carnivore was it? Miss President's watching us from nearby. She looks more dumbfounded than worried. Still, what Chia said at the end caught my attention. I had to keep killing over and over.
More stuff about killing, huh? Miss President was talking about it earlier, too. This must be.
It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. Hurts. I'll give you a taste of the pain they put me through!
Oh my. She's not even trying to sound like Chia anymore. Can't even begin to understand what she's talking about. But if a shadow's intentionally making people say these things, what does it mean about Miss President killing each other? All because of humans. What kind of secret past could the new student council president Yasugami hide be harboring? Now's not the time for this. I have to look into this after we've cleared up all the confusion
Let's
between
do
us.
this, Chia.
I ignore her words and draw my sword. Immediately, Risa's voice echoes through the area as if she is waiting for this.
Well, round 3 of the P1 Grand Prix already. Word on the street is that the carnivore may have a slight advantage. Will you, Senpai, all talk and no skill, manage to eke out a win this time? Let's get this show on the road. Ready?
Whoa. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Oh! Straight. Ooh! Absolute salad toss. There we go. Oh man, she really brought it to me. Alright. I have won. I lower my sword and begin slowing my breathing. I don't believe I've injured Chia too badly. Considering this is my third time having to do this, I feel like I'm getting pretty good at not having to seriously wound people in a fight.
Wipe that smug look off your face. This isn't fun at all!
General Teddy has seen that fights ended without any injuries, and spits his words through the monitor. The image on the monitor then disappears without anything further. Let him say whatever he wants. I fought all the friends I came onto the TV with, and none of them are hurt. What's left is to head to the announcement room and make sure Nanako's safe. Then we'll be able to go home. I walk over to Chia and help her off the ground. She's come back to her senses and seems a little sheepish. You alright?
I think so. Man, you're strong. I'm kind of shocked at how much of a difference there is between us.
Look who's talking. I've never been kicked around so badly in my life. Wait for Chia to reach her feet and tell her everything that's happened up to this
So
point.
the others are safe too? What a relief. I was pretty worried.
She is so relieved that she sits down on the floor once more. Can't help but smile at that reaction. She really does care about her friends. Yeah, these are the people I believe in. Seeing us exchange smiles like nothing was wrong, Miss President sounds perplexed when
You
she
guys
speaks
really
up.
are tight, aren't you? Makes me jealous.
Well, we did spend a whole lot of time together last year because of that case. Sure, I was surprised to hear such weird stuff coming from him, but I know he'd never say any of that to me. Wait
Damn
a
straight.
second. Who are you?
Oh, I forgot about that. I quickly introduced Miss President and tell Chia she may be a victim of this case. But Chia looks again at Miss President suspiciously.
The student council president? You mean ours? That doesn't seem right. I remember the new president being a guy.
Uh-oh.
What are you saying? I'm the student council president. Who else would I be?
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure, though. Maybe if you told me your name, I'd remember.
W. Adelina. It's the Fritz. It's Ima. Welcome.
My name?
Oh, Miss President stops moving. What's going on? She can't tell us her name? That's not a strange question, is it? For some reason, Miss President seems unable to answer. I sense some kind of incoherent melancholy from her. She and I share a tense glance.
My name's...
What's wrong?
My memories. No, I don't want to fight anymore. Why do we have to kill one another?
Kill one another? I gasp when I hear the words fall from her mouth. I don't know what's crossing her mind right now, but she's definitely not acting normal. I glance at Chia, then try to approach Miss President in hopes of calming her down. Without warning, Miss President begins flailing her arms as if trying to ward off demons that only she can see. She reaches out, touches her in concern. Miss President's arms catch Chia and easily knocks her aside.
Chia!
What power! I barely managed to catch Chia before she slams to the concrete wall. Still, this sudden breakdown. What in the world's happened to Miss President? Once I've helped Chia back to her feet, we carefully approach her from both sides. This will be a little rough, but it can't be helped. Can't ask her anything while she's like this. But at the moment,
What?
No way.
before I know it, Miss President's flying through the air. She was jumping. For a moment, I can't comprehend what I'm seeing. It's no ordinary leap. She was at a standstill, but now her entire body's suddenly higher than my head. The jumping ability is unbelievable. She and I look up in astonishment as Miss President kicks off the ceiling to change directions and lands at a full run.
Wow. Who is that girl? Did I say something to offend her? She did mention something about her memory.
Come to think of it, her her memories did seem a little muddled. Maybe she was on the verge of getting them back.
What kind of memory would make her go nuts and run away like that?
I can't answer Chia at all. What if he had to kill each other? I hear Miss President's sad voice in my head. She apparently wasn't expecting me to answer her, and she
I'll wait
continues.
here. Make sure you rescue her, okay?
Her voice is strong and confident. To drive the point home, she pokes my chest with her finger as if ordering me. Even though she might be in danger herself, she's still worrying about others. My friends are like that. That makes me really happy now. As Chia if she'll be alright on her own, she fires back, "Let me worry about that." I nod to her and begin running off after Miss President once more. I will save her no matter what. Even though I was running as fast as I could, the invisible walls keep preventing me from making such headway. I attempted to strike at the walls with my persona, but nothing happened.
So many invisible walls, one after another. Miss President can pass through them. I don't know if I can keep up the pursuit.
Announcement room is still my destination. There's no way to know if that's where Miss President's headed as well. If there's a shadow waiting for me there, I'll need to get there anyway. Tenny and Risa should be in the announcement room, and if Nanako is being held captive, that's where she'll be as well. I have to keep running, but yet another wall blocks the hallway. At first, I think that this is a dead end. I realize I can cut through a classroom and come out the other side of the wall. It's forcing me to enter the room rather than letting it go straight. This probably means... I brace myself and put my hand on the door. The moment I step inside, a familiar voice echoes in my mind.
Hi. Senpai! Can you hear me? Please answer me!
That voice. Is that you, Rise? The real one?
Her voice isn't coming from the PA system. I'm actually hearing it in my head. This has to be the work of Rise's persona. Which, for those that don't know, Rise is basically the navigator of the investigation team in Persona 4. Kind of like the Futaba of Persona 4, for those that are newer to this and aren't really engaged into this.
Thank goodness. I've been all alone since that weird fake Teddy captured me. And then you were all fighting each other.
You can hear the relief in her voice. She sounds so different from the insensitive and rude voice that had been coming from the PA system. This is indeed the
Where
Rise
are you
I
now,
know.
Rise? Can you locate where I am?
1 second, folks. Just need to make a slight adjustment. Actually might improve the... Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't think there's time. I'm stuck in the announcement room. Please, Senpai, you have to hurry. If you don't, he'll...
Rise! What's wrong, Rise?
There's no answer. Communication's been cut off. Has something happened in the announcement room? My heart begins racing. The enemy made us fight each other as participants in the tournament, but they had captured Rise as well. It's clear to me they must have been worried about using her persona's powers to tell us the truth. But that's not important right now. If she just captured to prevent her from contacting us, then the enemy must think of Rise as less valuable than those who had to fight. She sounded okay, but who knows what might happen to her now. I have to
Pardon me
hurry.
for interrupting while you are lost in thought.
Hand brushes my shoulder. With surprise, I jump away and draw my sword. I can't believe that I let myself get so lost in thought I didn't notice someone until they touched me. This is the second time I've let myself get so distracted. I've gotten used to having my friends with me while we investigated last year. I can't pay attention to the entire world on my own. I need to brace myself. I trip up and see another unfamiliar face. A girl with blonde hair and striking blue eyes. Wait, a girl? Her face and voice seem human-like, but the rest of her, there's metal everywhere all over her body. For a moment, I wondered if this is just an elaborate costume, but I can see the interior framework of her body where her joints
I
connect.
didn't mean to startle you.
You're,
It's nice to meet you. My name is Aegis. And no, I am not human. You are the one from the introduction video, listed as the Sister Complex Kingpin of Steel, Narukami-san. Correct?
The question catches me off guard. I wasn't expecting a complete stranger to call me that. Did she say she wasn't human? It's well, when Yosuke called me by that stupid title, I knew it was a joke. When a stranger says it, it sounds like they truly believe it. Ha!
Nanako is important to me, but calling it a complex is stretching things.
Yeah. No, wait a second. I was trying to play it off, but I ended up blurting out Nanako's name anyway. Calm down. I need to take this conversation away from the subject. Clear my throat and start over.
Aiga-san, was it? Why are you here?
Our primary objective is the destruction of shadows, but we have come to this world on a different mission.
The destruction of shadows?
She fights shadows? How can she do that if...
Does that mean...
Yes, I have a persona as well. Though my body is a machine, personas are the strength of the heart after all.
Just as I thought. I was surprised to find another persona user outside my group of friends. And a robot on top of that. I can't come to grips at all of this. From the way we were talking, she seems like a normal person. Only in an interesting suit. True, I've seen stories in the news about robots making uncannily like real humans, but is this something like this far beyond those? Still, I can't help but believe the evidence of my own eyes. I mean, I've been hopping in and out of TVs the last year. Who am I to say what's strange or not? Perhaps the technology behind her creation has supernatural roots of its own. I find myself growing more and more interested in how she came to be here, but I have to put that aside for now. For those of you that don't know, this is Aigis from Persona 3. She's basically an android that can change shape and stuff. It has a persona as well. If you haven't been able, for whatever reason, to play any of the Persona 3 iterations, either Persona 3 on the PlayStation 2, Persona 3 FES, or Persona 3 Portable, which is on the PSP. If you have an emulator or you have a chance, sit down and watch the Persona 3 movies. That way you get a good, again, if you haven't been able to play Persona 4, go ahead and watch the golden animation series. Persona 3, never got your hands on it, that's okay. Watch all 4 Persona 3 movies. It'll give you everything you need to know about all the characters from Persona 3, including Aigis. Something I need to find out from her first. This P1 Grand Prix, it's so similar to the events of last year, but to think that it would involve someone like her. I don't have a clear picture of everything that's happening, that's for sure. I calm myself, then ask her what I feel would tell me what she's doing in this world.
And what is this mission of yours?
She opens her mouth to respond, but just then, the monitor inside the classroom turns on. At that moment that I suddenly remember, it's likely I'm going to have to fight here. I'd forgotten about sensing when I entered the room.
Aha! So that's where you got to, Sensei. I've been looking all over for you. Ooh, where's the honey? Were you in the middle of trying to score with her?
As if you didn't know. You're the one who lured us both here.
Oh my, did you figure it out? I didn't have a choice after those guys decided on their own to horn in on the fun. You're a bright boy, Sensei. You know what's coming next, don't you?
The general on the monitor gives me a twisted smile. Could Aiga-san's mission be something that would cause him trouble? Can't figure out what his motives are. He's using us to crush each other. In other words, he's the next challenger that's being set. She's the next challenger being set against me. Aiga-san seems to understand this as well, and is staring at the monitor with a quiet animosity.
Sorry about this. Do you know the rule of this tournament?
Only the victor of each match may move on. Yes?
I have nothing against you, but I'm in a hurry for my own reasons.
Neither of us, in other words, can back down. Then there should be no hard feelings.
Aiga-san's refreshingly straightforward about it. She immediately takes a fighting stance. A bitter thought comes to me. It's tough being forced to fight my friends, but having to hurt someone that I don't even know is just as bad. Another thought comes on the heels of that one. I don't know this girl. Perhaps her appearance here means that there are urgent problems that an ordinary student like me can't fathom. What gives me the right to stop her on her mission? Shouldn't I know what's at stake before I take that from her? Thankfully, since she hasn't gone mad like my other friends. Perhaps the enemy doesn't care about clouding the minds of people who don't know each other. If we're still capable of understanding each other, then we should talk this over before we
That
do
will
it.
not do. We will speak more of this after one of us wins.
Agatha says this so quickly as if she's reading my mind. Dude, she's an android. What do you expect? She's going by logic, not by feelings. For a moment, I was struck by how she could have known that what I was thinking, but I realized she's right. What good would it do for us to talk things over? True, the loser cannot leave this room, but until we have a battle, neither one of us is going anywhere. It doesn't really matter if we come to an understanding or not. Until we have our fight, none of our goals are going to be accomplished. If that's the case, then it's better we don't hear about each other's problems before we fight. This could be why Aiga's-san hasn't told me anything. This must be her version of kindness. I silently ready my sword. Aiga-san appears to smile slightly when I do. Right, I'm not gonna give up on what I'm fighting for either. I need Nanako and my friends to be safe. And I have to make sure that Miss President's okay. I'll use everything I can to protect them. To thank you for your consideration, I make it a point to announce that I'm ready to start the fight.
Here goes. There's no need to hold back.
Indeed. Let us do battle.
Yay! Plays a bookmark. Here we go. She has Athena as a persona. Oh boy. Goddess of the hunt.
Final. Fight.
Ooh. Ay, chingada, wait. Oh, damn. Whoop, hop, hop, hop.
Heavy damage, fire! Ordeal, Bramble, guarding! My other self! Bramble, air raid,
Ah, diablo.
Blood damage, over! Severe impact,
There we go.
damage! You take it! No! Ready! Please hit! Firing! Target locked! Back!
Damn.
Please hit! Solar system, no! Severe impact!
Yeah, I got really whammy it,
In
kid.
the air!
Oh, what? Diablo. There we go. Yo, she's stiff strong, for real.
Wowza! Now that's the sensei I know! That hunk of junk was no match for you! Serves you right! Keep suffering! Friend against friend! Beating the heck out of each other!
Oh my god, Teddy, you're wicked. But she with the power of a persona. She was made to fight shadows, but I had no idea what she was capable of. I feel like my mind's been drained more than my body. It angers me to see that the general is watching over us with an expression of joy, as if we were some performers for his amusement. I look up and glare at the
I don't know
monitor.
why you're making us fight, but it's pointless. We aren't fighting because we hate each other. The reason we can fight is because we respect and trust each other.
A low growl. That's the only sound I hear. The real Teddy's never made such a hateful sound. It's actually rather scary.
Stupid! You're such a dumbass! What's with you?
The image on the monitor distorts along with that outburst. The general's having trouble remembering to act as someone else. His face bulges and ripples disturbingly as his hate pours through the screen. Any pretense at copying the adorable stupidity of the real Teddy is gone now. I notice that the voice spitting out these hateful words is not Teddy's either.
Respect? Trust? So what if you don't hate each other? You're not like me! I was forced to fight against my will! I destroyed them with my own hands! You should all have to go through the hell I've suffered! See how it feels to destroy everyone you call a friend!
Doesn't even sound like Shadow Teddy either, for any of you that have played the game or watched the golden animation.
If I knew this was gonna happen, I would have made the rules so you had to kill your opponent to move on!
General on the monitor continues to rage.
What are you talking about? Why did you set this tournament up?
The moment I say that, I feel that all the dots have become connected. When Miss President asked out of the blue if we were going to be forced to kill each other. That ominous muttering of killing one another. Were these both something that come directly from her past? Maybe she had been forced to fight against people she didn't want to fight. Has she been forced to destroy something that was precious to her? There's no way to know for sure, but it's possible. Considering this, kind of explains why her shadow would have created a tournament like this. That is, she wanted us to feel what she went through. I might not be entirely correct, but I feel I'm close to the truth. Should I ask General Teddy about my suspicions? But as I'm considering raising my voice...
Pardon my eccentric entrance.
What?
Someone comes crashing through the ceiling. What in the world? I rush over to Aigasa to protect her from the falling debris. Oh, Elizabeth. When I look up, I see a young woman emerge from the cloud of dust. While not as strange as Aigis, she seems a little uncommon as well. But even beside that, why does she come through the ceiling? This room has doors. It makes no sense at all. I'm about to get to the heart of the matter with General Teddy, but the monitor in this room has been destroyed, along with the ceiling. Though she seems oblivious to my confusion, the girl cocks her head and apologizes again.
Oh, please excuse me. I didn't have the faintest idea that someone would be here.
Faintest?
Fame? Fiend? Something along those lines at any rate.
What the hell is she talking about? Who in the world is this person? Wait a second. That blue suit she's wearing looks familiar. And with that silver hair and golden eyes, could it be...
Are you from the Velvet Room?
Ma, is this what's known as being hit on? Forbidden ritual where one human approaches another based solely on appearance and bets on the inner self being equally attractive.
I mean, is she wrong? Is she wrong though?
What? No, I'm not hitting on you. You just remind me of someone I know.
Okay, that actually sounded like I was hitting on her. No, I need to stop thinking about that. Yeah, bro. Don't go the Joker route. I'm telling you. In any case, I need to ask her
Do you
something.
happen to know anyone by the name of Margaret?
Margaret.
When she repeats her name, her face seems surprisingly youthful. I've been taken aback by her bizarre speech and actions. Could this girl be younger than me? Her profile simultaneously evokes the images of pondering philosopher and an innocent girl. Can't figure out how exactly to speak to her. Should I be more polite? I guess that doesn't matter too much. Anyway, worry about the niceties isn't the most important thing right now.
Actually, we should introduce ourselves first. I'm Yu Narukami.
Oh, that had slipped my mind also. My name is Elizabeth, dear me. To hear that name fraught with memories in such a mundane, remote place.
She thinks of this world as a mundane place? That's confusing. Yasuinaba may be out of the countryside, but I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. Girl Elizabeth suddenly bows elegantly
Margaret
to me.
is indeed my sister's name. Can I take that to mean that you are another guest of that room?
I see. So she's Margaret's sister. That explains why she reminds me of her.
Elizabeth-san, huh? Well, I guess that's the case. It's true that there was a time when I visited that room.
Igor, Margaret, now Elizabeth. Seems there are more people who call that place home than I even thought. I think I'm glad I met Margaret last year instead of this girl.
Why is a resident of the Velvet Room here? Did Margaret send you with a message or something?
I am currently utterly neglecting my duties.
Oof.
Is that so?
That doesn't really tell me much, and I have no response anyway. So what possessed her to come blasting in through the ceiling instead of using the door? I decided not to bother asking her that. I've met so many people over last year, but trying to have a conversation with this girl is like trying to ride a wild horse. She's just gonna ignore the direction I'm trying to steer us towards and just veer off wherever she wants. Best just to hold on and go along for the ride then. Alright, for those of you that do know the Persona 3 lore, obviously the reason Elizabeth is here is because, well, I believe it was an FES, and if you've played the answer as well, there comes a point where Elizabeth is dateable, and then there comes a point where she's trying to like go beyond. Basically, her journey propels towards trying to get rid of the Great Seal that has Makoto Yuki trapped, which is why he's technically dead in Persona 3 at the end. And she's on this journey to try to find a way to break the seal, either for she herself to become the seal so that he comes back to life or some shit. That's why she's not in the Velvet Room. Maybe if I pay attention, she'll tell me something worth my time. Even if I try to ask her any questions, she'll likely just be confused anyway. As I'm having that thought, the girl seems to have noticed my hesitation and starts to talk about herself. Her eyes are lit up with a sincere passion. She really is a hard one to read.
I have a certain desire. It may take a very long time for it to be realized. In order for my wish to be granted, I require a power much greater than what I have. The power of the wild card that changes bombs into string. I have a feeling that the key lies there.
I know a little about the wild card, but
I feel that the first clue to granting my wish lies within that power.
Sidebar note here. Wouldn't it be crazy if they made Persona 6 and instead of a whole new protagonist, it's her? Just a theory, just a thought. Don't think that'll happen, but would be interesting.
Blue?
Flu? Influenza. Something along those lines at any rate.
She's having trouble coming over with the right words, but I can hear the sincerity in her speech. Probably. In other words, I think she means that the power of the wild card is related to her desire and came here. I don't think it's worth to ask how she knew I had that power, or where she found out about it. Just as I'm struggling to follow the meandering path of her conversation, she brings up an outrageous suggestion.
Might I suggest that you and I fight?
What? Someone please tell me how she reached that conclusion as a good idea. I don't think I have a chance of talking her out of it, but though, of course, I have to try. So I say, we're gonna fight?
Oh, how excited this is making me. My expectations are ascending skyward at Mach speed. To be direct, I'd like for you to show me the potential slumbering within you.
Let me make sure of something, just in case. You understand what I'm saying, right? There's no illusions at work?
Such parlor tricks can get stopped.
I see. So you're actually in your right mind here.
Well, maybe she understood what I meant when I mentioned the illusions. If that's so, she must at least have some idea of what's going on around here. And even though she might understand it, she still wants to fight me. I wonder though, if she's unrelated to General Teddy's plans and invited herself in the tournament, do the usual rules apply? As I think about this, Elizabeth's son taps her foot on the ground and takes a fighting posture. She really does want to fight. A huge, leather-bound book in her hand opens, as if by itself. A torrent of power pours from the open book with a blue light. I can't believe this strange girl has that unimaginable power. She seems so aloof. No, maybe more correct to call it an era of imminent violence.
All right. I won't be able to hold back.
To be honest, I was really only saying that in the hopes of bluffing her. I have absolutely no room to hold back in this fight. I hurriedly cast off my fear and focus on the upcoming battle. There's no room for doubt. I need to hit her with my full strength from the start. If I were to fight her with the intent of killing her, I'll be lucky not to end up dead myself. At least that's how I feel. Elizabeth's son calmly just begins the battle.
Let's do this. Your fate is in the cards.
Ah, crap. Oh boy.
Final. Fight.
Oh damn, she's using Thanatos on me.
Your fate is in the cards.
Oh!
Closing in!
Oh no. Perception. Please don't receive. Oh no.
Whew.
We're
Well
gonna
done.
play.
Oh my god. Okay. Just when I thought I managed to throw her off balance, Elizabeth-san gets up elegantly as if nothing had happened. Suddenly I feel an intensity build up in the air. Don't tell me she hadn't been taken this seriously at all up to now. Next moment, I'm swallowed into a torrent of power like a leaf being blown into the air, without the slightest understanding of what's happening. My vision blurs as I'm spun about. Before I can tell up from down, the floor jumps towards me and I'm slammed from the ground. Into the ground. Am I gonna lose? As my consciousness fades, I see the faces of my friends and Aiga-san, all those I have fought up against till now. It's like that story you see your life flash before your eyes just before you die. Am I dying? Can I really accept that? I'll fight as much as I have to in order to save my friends. I have to keep fighting. I've come so far, I can't lose heart now. I desperately force my legs to move and manage to stay. She cuts herself off and nods to herself as if to confirm some
This
suspicion.
was truly an intriguing battle. I believe our encounter has borne much flute.
Flute?
Flu? Chimneys. In any case, I am quite pleased.
Even after a battle, she acts like that. I feel like a fool for believing that she would really have killed me. Even if it felt quite real at the time. Can't believe any of this. My legs give out under me and I sink to the ground. Maybe she understands how I feel. Elizabeth-san looks straight into my eyes.
May I ask you something? To continue fighting in order to prevent an undesirable future, it is a path of endless hardship. Would you still choose to walk it?
Margaret has said something similar just before the tournament had begun. How I have overcome the ordeal concerning last year's case and opened the door. Margaret's and Elizabeth's words come together in my mind.
Yeah. Working for a better tomorrow isn't just a one-time thing. The tomorrows keep coming.
Opening the door is necessary, but it's not what's truly important. What's more important is making sure that you follow the path that's beyond the door. Only once you have that path in mind does it matter whether you've opened the door or not. That's how I feel.
I would keep fighting for the future we want.
Elizabeth-san smiles. It seems the former dweller of the Velvet Room is pleased with my answer. She must have chosen a path of her own at some point and is doing everything in her power to see it through. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, but I feel as if I'm able to understand her a little better
Well,
now.
it's time for me to bid you adieu. By your leave, I, Elizabeth, am out of here.
With this, Elizabeth briskly walks out of the room. She caused me some trouble, but I've also learned something about myself as well. I think I'll call it a draw. As I wave goodbye to Elizabeth, I hear Aiga-san's getting to her feet behind me.
Are you alright? You shouldn't force yourself to move.
I was concerned at first, but Aiga-san doesn't seem to be very hurt or damaged, or whatever you would say. She's likely just knocked out. I had absolutely no chance of winning if I had gone easy on her either. This is getting ridiculous.
You are very kind. We've only just met, and yet you're worried about a machine like myself.
Huh? Isn't that normal?
Aiga-san laughs at my confusion.
Seeing you smile like that? I don't know. I just can't think of you as a machine. You have a heart, right? Then it doesn't matter whether you're man or machine.
Aiga-san stops laughing, thinks deeply for a moment. But after a few seconds, she looks back up at me with a serious look in her eyes.
You have defeated me in single combat. That will make it difficult for me to continue forward. But I believe I can trust you. Will you listen to my mission directive?
I have no reason to say no. I look Aiga-san square in the eye and nod reassuringly. And so Aiga-san told me about her directive, and it was truly surprising. There was another case involving personas and shadows outside of Inaba, even before our adventure last year. She is a weapon with a heart, created with the express purpose of wielding a persona to fight the shadows. She believes that this current situation came to be because someone has stolen a similar weapon and caused it to enter the TV world.
So, there's another girl robot with a heart like you? And she's the cause of all this?
We came to this world to retrieve her, my older sister, the 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris, is in this world somewhere.
Nanako, Miss President, her shadow, and now Labris. I have a amount of tasks accomplished now. But even though I have a lot to do, I can't ignore any of it.
Tell me more about Labris, and I'll do what I can to help you get her back.
Unfortunately,
Aiga-san's expression clouds. She said that she was a machine, but she really is no different from a human. As I ponder this, I listen to what she has to say. It's discouraging.
So you don't know what she looks like, what she can do, or what equipment she's loaded with.
Basically, all she can tell me is Labris is a robot who's built to look like a girl. Wait a second, did I meet a girl I didn't know in the TV world? Miss President? Could Miss President be Labris?
Is there a possibility that she looks, well, more human than you? You mentioned earlier that she was your older sister, so I assume she was built before you, but...
my sister was an older model, a prototype for the 5th generation to be exact. It's doubtful that she would look more human than myself.
Then there's no way Miss President could be Labris. I could tell at first glance Aigus was a machine. Miss President appears to be completely human. I never once considered that she might not be human until just now. But that makes things even more complicated. What in the world's going on inside this TV?
Alright, in any case, I'll keep an eye out for her. But right now, I'm heading to the announcement room. If Labris is the cause of this, then I'm bound to meet up with her eventually.
I shrug slightly. I don't want to be so grave. I guess I'm a sense that I'm trying to do and smiles.
Thank you. I will trust my sister's fate to you.
Of course. If I guess a determined nod and I run out of the classroom. Man, what a busy golden week! I have to make sure Nanako's okay. Find Miss President. I'll mask whoever's masquerading as Teddy, and I'll search for Labris somewhere in here. If this wasn't happening, I'd be kicking it with my friends at the Junes food court. Yukiko's trying to be coy, but I'm pretty sure that big bundle she was carrying was a box of lunch she made for us. I wouldn't be too excited about it if you ask me. As to how it might taste, well, let's not get sidetracked. I'm sure we all have enjoyed it anyway. Yeah, sure. Eventually, I would have called Nanako over. We would have bought some snacks together. There were things I wanted to buy from the Shiroku store, and maybe I would have made it to Sozai Daigaku in time to buy the last of their special croquettes. I wanted to talk with the owner of Daidara and get some books from the Yomenaido's bookstore. I got a steak bowl at Aya, hung out with the fox at the Tashime shrine, waited for my uncle so we could have dinner, and tomorrow we'd have gone fishing. If the one who ruined my vacation and caused all these problems is the same person who stole Labris, if they truly brought Nanako back to the TV world, I'll catch them no matter what.
You're not getting away from me.
As I run, I come across yet another blue door. Perhaps it's a sign I need to calm down. True, I may have lost my cool for a
Someone
moment.
here? Again?
I reach towards the door with a relaxed smile. Ah, crap again. Margaret's in her usual position. I glance around to see if there's anyone else in here. Looks like her nutcase of a sister's here. Oh, damn, you call it a straight up nutcase? Damn, bro. You got no chill. Margaret notices me looking and sighs, a seductive sound that also conveys annoyance.
It seems my sister has caused you some trouble.
No shit.
Though this may mean that I'm not the only one who is drawn to the light of your potential.
A tenderness towards her sister in her words. Her sister must be important to her. I can tell from the look on her face. Do I look like that when I talk about Nanako? Margaret pulls herself together, speaks again.
You have gained a new resolve by overcoming many doubts and falsehoods.
A new resolve. I find myself nodding along.
You have reached the threshold of truth, but man's hearts are mutable. That is why a resolve to continue fighting is more important than any one victory or defeat.
Yeah, I understand.
But this will be a difficult battle without end. Are you equal to the challenge?
The way she puts it makes it seem as if she was testing me. I don't respond immediately. I think about the question. It would be lying to say I'm not worried. I know that my heart can be swayed by change. There's no knowing what will happen from moment to moment. But even then...
If I have my friends, if I'm not alone, I can do it.
I see.
She nods slightly in response.
I have heard your answer, but it's not enough.
What?
Remember what I told you before? The heart is shaken more by a single action than by 1,000 words.
True. As she smiles, my vision begins to blur. I hear words being repeated. I've reached the threshold of truth. Everything that's happened in the course of this case runs through my mind. New appearances, TV world, this tournament pitting us against each other, the student council president, and a fake Teddy. An encounter with a weapon with a heart, Iga's son searching for sister Labris, the determination I've gained through these constant battles, what I must accomplish. How do I know what I've decided through my actions? Seems that the number of visible walls have decreased. Does this mean the end is near? As I think that I hear similar... Miss President's voice. Coming from the door of the announcement room. I finally made it. I open the door to the announcement room and rush inside.
You're finally here. Hello, Sensei. Congratulations. How does it feel to have won the P1 Grand Prix?
The General smirks at me as I pass through the door. Behind him, Miss President and Rise. When the two of them see me, Miss President looks confused, while Rise's face lights up with joy.
There you are, Senpai. You're late.
I have to stay cautious of the General, but I signal to the girls that everything will be alright now. The General is closer to them than I am. I can't afford to make any reckless moves just yet. There's one thing I need to know.
Teddy, where's Nanako?
I look around the announcement room, but Nanako's nowhere to be found. General's face distorts with an ugly glee.
Nana-chan's right here. See?
Slowly, the General extends the arm that was held behind him. And there was Nanako. Her arms clutched to her chest. She slowly takes a few steps towards me, obviously frightened.
Nanako!
Taking a step forward, I notice something bizarre. The General disappeared. For a brief instant, my full attention had been focused on Nanako. The General had been standing directly behind her, but now he's gone. How could he have gone somewhere else that quickly right in front of me without me noticing?
Bro.
I'm confused about the General's disappearance. Nanako weakly calls out to me. Being in the TV world has obviously taken a toll on her. She totters towards me unsteadily, looking ready to collapse at any moment. I can think about the General later. I have to save Nanako right now. As I reach out to her, Rise yells.
Senpai, no! Nanako-chan's not there!
Nanako's not here. What's she saying? She's right here. Just as I'm about to say so, my hand stops. Something's not right. I try to look into Nanako's face once more. In her eyes, I saw madness.
Oh, so close! Just a little more and Sensei would have been a goner!
You bastard!
I barely reacted in time to draw my sword to block the attack. The General suddenly appeared out of nowhere to attack me with his cane. I get a good look at him as our weapons clash. I see the madness in his face. Same madness I had seen Nanako's only a moment before. That's when I noticed that Nanako had disappeared. What's going on?
You've got it wrong, Senpai. It's all been him from the beginning. You can make whoever's looking at him see him as someone else.
So he's not actually taking on other forms?
No, he's just distorting the things you see and hear.
That's right, the enemy is able to control what I see and hear. I realized that after all the battles I had today, but seeing Nanako had made me forget all that. General laughs at this.
It's hard for me to show someone who isn't here. But you actually saw this Nanako girl? You're hopeless.
Just like how my friends hadn't actually gone crazy before our fights, Nanako had never been brought into this world in the first place. The prince before me is a fake. He distorted our senses to make us suffer. But just as I thought, he wouldn't deceive Rise's persona abilities. That's why he kidnapped her, to keep her from warning us during this tournament. Now that I know that, I pushed the general's cane away and jumped back towards the girls in order to distance myself from him. Good. Now I'm between them and the general. And then I looked straight at the one behind the bizarre situation.
Who in the world are you?
You still can't tell? Seriously, the level of intelligence around here.
Oh, Jesus.
Here, get a good look.
Oh boy. Has anyone pooped their pants yet? I know I would. Diablo. Esto sí se puso cabrón.
I am a shadow. The true self. That's my face.
I saw her metal limbs, golden eyes, a ponytail, and a mirror image of Miss Present's face, even though she was standing behind me,
How
trembling.
about it? You wanted to see what I am, didn't you? Why does she look like me?
That's its true form. That thing is your shadow.
This is a shadow? She really came from inside me?
Risa tries to calm Miss President, but the girl shakes her head in denial, squeezes her eyes shut. While Miss President refuses to look at the mechanical-looking being, now understanding what is going on. Because this is the first time I've seen a robotic girl. All the facts match up. The way she was able to run so fast without so much as breathing heavily, even in the TV world. The sense of wrongness I had when Miss President had asked me about killing my friends. The way she avoided telling me her name, superhuman strength where she hit Chie, and that incredible jump to get away from us. And that Shadow's ability to interfere with the senses to other people. Just as Margaret has said, all the pieces to the puzzle were laid out before me. They all come together, and now I can see the truth. She's indeed Labrys. Labrys, another weapon with a heart, stolen by someone unknown and thrown into the TV world, created this school and forced us to fight our friends. This deep-rooted depression regarding her last memories, all of this took the form of Labrys' shadow, who manipulated everything here.
Labrys, don't look away. If you don't accept her, she'll get even stronger.
Miss Labrys only shivers when I call out to her. There has to be some reason why she believes she was the student council president. But that's just a disguise, more for herself than us, no matter how uncomfortable it is. It's only there to cloud her eyes from the truth.
I don't know what your past was like. It must have had some painful memories, but you have us with you now. We're going to get you out of here.
I call out to Labrys while keeping an eye on the shadow. A shadow is the darkness within a person's heart. Unless it's accepted by the person it came from, it will never disappear for good. But with that in mind, all we can do is watch over her as she accepts this darkness within her. We'll have to protect her when the shadow goes berserk and tries to kill her. But Labrys continues to shake her head and tremble violently. My words aren't getting through to her.
You hear that, me, your friend? is trying to tell you something. Too bad he doesn't understand at all. His clones are so hopelessly naive.
Shadow laughs shrilly, continues to smear more poison in Labrys's
I
heart.
wish you could make him feel the pain. What it's like having to murder one another. That sadness and pain and anguish. Everything went black, and I was always left alone. I'm a weapon. A machine made only to fight. No human can understand my suffering. Stop! I've had enough. I'm human. I'm not like that.
This isn't good. I settle into a fighting stance, ready for anything, though I have a good idea what's going on.
Oh, you're still clinging to that. Then take a look at what you really are.
Shadow's eyes gleam with golden light. The change begins immediately. Shimmer runs across Labrys's body. Instead of the normal human girl that had been a moment ago, she has a metallic body just like her shadow.
No!
Labrys loses all composure and scratches at her arm, trying to tear away the metal that had appeared. But there was more to her change than her arms. Her legs, waist, chest, even her head. Everything that's not covered by her clothing is now obviously mechanical. The reality that she didn't want to face. There are no words we can say to her. No matter what we say, reality won't change. Labrys falls to her knees. Finally mutters the words I was dreading she'd say. To be continued.